Good morning to one and all. This is BSR, Social Studies faculty from New Vision Concept School. Today we will discuss two major subtopics in 14th lesson. In 14th lesson, two major subtopics. One is Quit India Movement, another one is Indian National Army. So, 14th lesson, National Movement, Partition and Independence. So, my dear students, first of all, we will discuss Quit India Movement. So, actually, it is the time of World War II, 39 to 45, 1945. It is a period of World War II. It is a period of World War II. During this period, what about the freedom movement in India? That is the story we are talking. Freedom movement in India. This is a story. So, a part of that Quit India movement that is seen in India. During World War II, Japan, as a part of Axis power, you know very well, Axis power, members in the Axis powers and members in the Allied powers. Japan, as a member in the Axis powers, what are they? Germany, Italy, and Japan. So these are the members in Axis powers, Axis members. Axis powers are also called as central powers. Axis powers are also called as central powers. Axis powers are also called as central powers. So Germany, Italy, followed by Japan. So Japan now concentrates during World War II, concentrating on Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia. So, do you mean that Japan from Asia attacking southeastern countries, particularly British colonies and French colonies? French colonies and British colonies are in the attack. So from Japan they are moving towards southeast, occupying many islands, and that was going on. When the invasion of Japan towards Southeast Asia was going, Britishers believed that my colony, that is India, will be the target next time. You mean Japan is going to attack British India? British India. You mean that Japanese are going to attack India? So that's why at that time, that is 1942. 1942. During that period, the Prime Minister of England, Winston Churchill, a person from Conservative Party and Prime Minister of England, would like to negotiate with Indians. Would like to negotiate with Indians to get the support of Indians. You mean? So Britishers believed that if there is a support of Indians during this period, they can fight against Britishers. They can fight against Japan. The help or support of Indians now required, as Japanese are occupying most of the territories in Southeast Asia. So that's why they would like to negotiate. They would like to talk to Indian leaders, particularly Indian INC and all. So they sent kits, Sir Stafford Cripps. Sir Stafford Cripps was sent to India in 1942. That is we call as Cripps mission came to India. Cripps mission came to India. 1942 Cripps came to India for what? To negotiate with Indian leaders to get support of Indians during World War II to fight against Japan. So Cripps came to India in 1942 and talked with INC, but INC demanded that defense minister must be from India. In the Governor General's executive, defense minister must be taken must be an Indian. An Indian must be a defense minister. You need to take this point. So, but the demand of the INC is strongly opposed by Cripps, and Cripps went away. Cripps mission failed. Churchill would like to get the support of India. That's why he sent Cripps to India, and he came to India in 1942, and finally talks were there between INC and Cripps and regarding the support of Indians during World War II to fight against Japan. When the Cripps that talks failed and went away. Then coming to the after the failure of Cripps mission, Mahatma Gandhi, great man, father of India, Mahatma Gandhi decided to fight or start a movement called Quit India. Quit in the sense go away from India, leave India. Britishers should leave India. Quit India. You mean Britishers do not have any right to be here, to rule India. You must go away. A big movement started in India in 1942. 8th August he started a big movement. Leave India, go away from India, quit India. It's a big campaign. It's a big movement. It's a large number of people, lakhs, millions of people participate in this movement. Of course, Gandhiji was arrested, most of the leaders were arrested. And all over the country, wherever go, strikes were there. Large number of students did not go to school. Socialist followers also strongly participated. Wherever go, there are a kind of strong resistance against Britishers. Students did not go to colleges. Even some districts, Satara, Jhansi, some other places where Midnapur, Satara in the west and Midnapur in the east, independent governments were announced. People declared themselves as independent rulers in certain areas. No tax campaigning was taken place. But what are the steps taken by wherever go, strikes, hartals, demonstrations, and same time refusal of cooperating with India Britishers, and entire band, that is complete band that was taken place. Large number of people were jailed. Young people, young activists organized strikes. Some militant movements also can be seen during this period, militant movements. Active, secret, underground movement, militant movement sense, underground movements also can be seen. Some communist followers or some of the people who are favored to socialism moved with a kind of underground activities. So that's common, but unfortunately Communist Party of India, CPI, Communist Party of India, would like to support Britishers because CPI, Communist Party of India's interest was the interest of Russia. CPI, Communist Party of India, believed that world is going to face a big problem through Hitler. Hitler is the threat to the nation, to the world. Now we would like to fight against Hitler, not against the democratic countries. So that is one point. Second point is CPI, Communist Party of India, formed according to the advice given by Russia. So it's the time to support the Russian government. Automatically fighting against Hitler. So when Communist Party of India is supporting Russian government, in the sense Russia is a part of Allied powers, so supporting Britishers. War efforts of Britishers strongly supported by Communist Party of India. Entire Indians one side and the communist followers one another side. That's why that was I think that was a major area, major setback to Communist Party of India, because it was not able to get the support of the people. It is fighting against the interest of people. All the people of India one side, they would like to fight against British. They are fighting against Britishers. But here Communist Party of India would like to support Britishers. What is that? I don't know what philosophy that is. No, our interest, national interest is, I think, should be the primary motive for every individual, every party, every person, every leader. Of course, all should be existed. Entire world should be calm and safe and happy without any wars and okay. At the same time, you must think about your own nation. But Communist Party of India did not think about our nation. Think about the world. So that is one area. Kind of strong impression that is there against Europeans in the almost all the colonies. Wherever we go, the kind of anger, frustration among the people to fight against Britishers and all. Their aim is to get independence. Even Mahatma Gandhi said that let Japan win the war. Then afterwards we can get our country from Japan. Even though India is going to be captured by Japanese, and then it can be tackled. We can easily tackle the Japan. They'll listen. They'll find out. They'll come out. They'll give independence to us. It's not a biggest threat to biggest problem to take India from Japan than Britishers. Britishers, I think, were not interested to give independence to Indians, even though they have been fighting. Indians have been fighting for several centuries, for several years, decades. So here a big problem is what is that? To whom we need to support? One party, Communist Party, supporting Britishers, and Congress Party, and entire people supporting, not supporting, fighting against Britishers. That is about Quit India movement. So during this period, we can see that the attempts made by Subhash Chandra Bose. This situation, according to Subhash Chandra Bose's aim was to take India from the clutches of Britishers, either by talks or his aim is to take India from the Britishers by fight. Whatever the difficulties created by Britishers, whatever the support that is to be given to Britishers, that is to be stopped. We need to fight against Britishers. The support that should be given to Japan or Germany, now it is the time to give support or to take help from Germany or Japan. So that's why this man, independence is important. Utmost importance is here independence. That's why his aim is to get the support of support of Germany or Japan. Axis powers support, now it should be taken. We need to take the support of Axis powers. Axis powers, either Germany, Italy, Japan. That's why with the help of these Axis powers, then it is easy to get independence. Whose opinion that is? Whose opinion that is? The opinion of the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. That's why secretly in 1942 he went to Germany. From there he went to Japan. So he met with Hitler initially, and whatever his interest is there, it was given to Hitler, and he said that it is the work of Japan, just go and talk to Japan government, just so that Japanese government can give support, then we will get independence through Japan. Secretly went to Japan. So he came out. and went to Japan and see. At the time, British army. You mean that Indians? Indians who are there in the British army in India or in nearby countries who are fighting against Japan. Japan government captured 40,000 Indian soldiers during World War II. This point is to be taken. 40,000 POW, prisoners of war. Prisoners of war, POW. Prisoners of war. During war, around 40,000 Indian soldiers who were there in British army were captured by Japan. Both's interest was to form an army, and these 40,000 members are to be taken from the Japan government and to form INA, Indian National Army. Then we need to take help and weapons, everything from Japan. Then we will move towards India. Then we will go and fight against Britishers and we will get independence. It was the aim of this man. Great inspiration. He was able to inspire the young people. Larger number of people joined INA. And by taking 40,000, he talked to Japan. Japanese government also agreed to give 40,000 soldiers who are there in jail. They came out and a big army was formed. Attempts were made by some other people already. Mohan Singh, like, there are people who worked on that particular area. So, now he joined there in 1943 there. He became the head of that army. So this man joined the army and he became head of the Indian National Army and they started moving towards India. That was the story. He used to say one thing. This is the time to fight against Britishers. That's why we should move towards Delhi. Delhi chalo. We must go to Delhi. We must occupy our own government by fighting Britishers. So Delhi chalo, and one more slogan was given by this man: give me blood, give your blood and I'll give you independence. So this man, a kind of inspiration, training, weapons were taken from Japan and then moved and started moving towards India. Unfortunately, the great efforts are great work of INA and as well as Netaji was failed because they reached some territories of India, northeastern areas of India, and then unfortunately at the time 44. So at that time Axis powers, there is a setback to Axis powers. Axis powers not able to get victory. Support which was expected from Japan not there. So British army defeated INA and INA soldiers were brought to Delhi and there they were imprisoned. INA soldiers were punished like anything. They were treated as traitors. దేశద్రోహం కింద నేరం చేశారు కాబట్టి వీళ్ళని ఆర్మీ జైల్స్ పంపించాలని డిసైడ్ చేసి వితౌట్ ఎనీ ట్రయల్ ఆల్ దీస్ పీపుల్ were crushed, were disturbed, were taken to jails, and even some of them got death punishment, everything. This is unfortunate story because the way how INA soldiers were treated, entire irrespective of religion in India, all the people got a kind of angry against that, frustration against this British government. The way how INA soldiers were taken, treated, and so things are wrong. So anyhow, according to my opinion, a great person who gave a great philosophy, whose idea was good and was able to inspire the young-minded people. So that's the work done by INA. You cannot say that INA literally failed. INA's interest was good, its inspiration is good, its ideology is good, and the way how people are gathered and training was given also good. That's why my point is here, such great people are required for a nation so that things will be better. So with this we will put an end to this lesson. Tomorrow we will take some other two subtopics. Thank you.